because you know you're innocent. It's time for the victim to stand up. It will kill you if you didn't stand up.
Today you've tuned into a really important episode of the Disruptive Voices of the Pacific. This podcast, as I've said many times, is a platform in which women and men can come and share their stories. And today I have one brave woman who has put up her hand and asked to come and share her story today of what happened to her 28 years ago. Now, clergy abuse is nothing new. It happens in every country, and Fiji is certainly not exempt. In 2020, the Catholic Archbishop made a public apology on behalf of the Catholic Church to the boys who had been sexually abused by priests. A quick Google search shows that a number of years ago, 2 Methodist church ministers were sentenced, found guilty of abusing 9 schoolgirls. In 2018, another Methodist minister was convicted of assaulting 14 boys. And so this is a constant issue right across the church in Fiji. And today my guest, who has asked to remain anonymous, wants to share her story. 2 weeks ago she walked into the Lamy police station and lodged charges against the president of the Seventh-day Adventist Church for abduction and attempted rape. So welcome today. Great to have you with us. Can you just tell us a little bit about your background, what life was like growing up for you?
I was brought up by my grandparents, my mom's parents. We're just brought up with a family church. I like going to church. I like every activities that happen in the church. But something that occurred in that year that put a scar on my heart. In the back of my mind, I tried to forget, but it can't.
Yeah. So you grew up in Lamy?
Yes.
Okay, and you attended the Seventh-day Adventist school?
Yes.
And which church did you attend?
I attend Namboro SDA.
Okay. And at the time, who was the pastor of your church?
On that time, it was Nasoni Lutunaliwa.
Okay.
He was a senior pastor that time when I was in my teen. It was his first church that he was sent by the local church.
Yeah.
Yes, he was the first minister.
And now he's currently the president of the
Yes,
Seventh-day
and now
Adventist
he's the
Church.
president.
So you were around the age of 13.
Yes.
Even though you don't fully remember the day, you clearly remember the event. So can you tell us what happened that day?
That day, I can remember when I just came back from playing with people, children at my areas. I just came back from playing. I saw Taltalana Sony's vehicle parked at the bridge where my house is in the same area. So when I reached him, I see Mbola, and he replied Mbola. So I asked him, "Where have you been?" And he said, because a few members of the church that we are attend the same church, we're staying together. So I asked him, and he said, "Oh, I'm coming to see your grandparents." So I told him, "Okay, come, we go home." And he said, "I'm sitting here, and I think I forgot to bring the food that I'm supposed to bring for my visit." And I told him, "Taltala, next time you can bring the food. For now, you are here. We just go and see my grandparents, so you can go home." And he keeps on telling me, "No, we just go together." And I said, "No." And he said, "Come." In that age, you trust the pastor, the person you're supposed to trust. I fully trust him. And he told me, "You come in front at the passenger seat." And I told him, "No, because I'm dirty. I'm going to sit at the back. So I sit at the behind him, at the seat at the back. When we on our way to his house, it was a junction. When we left the bridge, on our way to the main road, he keeps on asking me questions. I know you're not supposed to ask a teenage. Even your email pastor, you're not supposed to. Even my parents, they didn't ask me those kind of questions. I know that I went in the car, not supposed to be in that car in that very moment.
What were the type of questions he was asking you?
Firstly, he asked me how's school, and I told him school is doing well. So he asked me, have you ever talked to a boy or a boy in school? Is any boys approach you? And I said no. And he told me, do you admire anyone? No. Any boys in school or any boys at the local church? I said no. And he told me, have you kissed anyone? And I said no.
Did he ask you, have you ever had sexual intercourse with anyone?
Yes, he asked me that, but I say no.
You said no. So it's a little odd that the pastor is
Yes.
asking a 13-year-old these questions, and this is part of the attempted
Yes.
rape charges.
Yes.
And so you're having these questions along the way.
Along the way.
When you reached his home, what happened?
Before we reach his home, I asked him, where's your wife? Where's Randini? And he told me that Randini went to his family house because that time Randini had just gave birth to the eldest daughter. And I said, oh, okay. So I just want to jump out of that vehicle because I know very well I'm not supposed to be in that vehicle with him.
Yep, so you're at the house, the wife's nowhere to be found, you're feeling very uncomfortable because of the questions, because he's made you hop in the car. Did he invite you into the home?
No. Yes. Before we reach his house, we have, he's staying in the Adventist high school. Before it was Easterly High School. Now it's Adventist College at Suvovo. When we about to reach his house, we have to go on the hill. I saw 3 of my classmates coming down from the playing ground. They just came back from after playing at the back of the school. It's a ground there. I saw them. I know all of them. When we reached his house, he parked his car because the balcony was. He parked his car in a position like there's no way for me to go out. He locked his car and he went inside. The vehicle is off his engine. He went inside his house, and he didn't on the light, and he keeps on telling me to come inside. He keep on repeating, and I said no. But the whole time that he went outside, I tried to open the door. I tried the door that I'm sitting on. I tried to open that door, but it was not open. And the other side, it didn't open. So I tried the passenger seat in front, it didn't open. Only the window was half open. So in that very moment, he keeps on telling me, come inside the house so we can carry the food to take to the. By the time we reached his house, it was too dark. Because we left my time of curfew at home, it's 6 o'clock. Before 6 o'clock, I have to be at home. So after 5, we left Visari. And we are on that time when we reached his house, it was dark.
Yeah.
So he kept on telling me, come inside.
Why do you think he wanted you to come inside?
I know when someone asks you that kind of question, when you hop in his car, you know in your heart there's the atmosphere is not okay. between only you, a female and a male,
Yeah.
you know it's not okay. It's not okay for him to ask me this kind of question.
Yeah. Yeah. So you managed to escape.
Yes.
How did you get out of the car?
I get out by the window at
Through
the
the window.
passenger
Yeah.
the window seat.
Because the car was locked.
Yes.
So you get out from the window, and then what happens?
When I get out of the window, he climbed up the back of his car because when we came down, the gate is on the behind us. So he went at the back of his car. He thought that I'm going to run at the gate. And myself, I jump off of the wood of his front of his car. Then I went inside so he's on the other side and myself on the other side where his door. And he's trying to, that whole time we back and forth, he's trying to grab me. I keep on yelling. I yelled and I scratched myself, my hand and my leg, my thigh wrapped to my knee. Because the wall is too rough. It's not smooth. From then till now, if you went to the Easterly Adventist High School, the wall is still rough. So,
Was he saying anything to you while he was trying to grab you?
no,
No. But you were screaming
yes,
because now suddenly you have this older pastor running after you trying to grab you. So the fear that you have as a 13-year-old girl, after already being made to get in the car, do something that you don't want to do, that's abduction. Asking highly inappropriate sexual questions, making you feel unsafe, and then he starts to chase you. So you manage to run to some friends.
So while we were going back and forth, I was screaming out my heart out. If someone can hear me, help it. And when he came in front of his vehicle, I just ran at the back and I jumped outside. So I ran down to the gate and I came down to my friend. While I'm just running towards my friend, he already passed me on the way back. He came and went straight to Suva. When I reached my friend, they asked me because they know very well I'm not staying there. I'm staying in Visari. So they asked me, "What are you doing here?" The whole time I was crying. I was crying. And they tried to comfort me. What happened? I just grabbed one of them. I hugged him so tight. I told him that Pastor Nasoni tried to grab me. And when they tried to went up to his house, I told them no. While I'm still running down to catch you guys, he already passed me back way to Suva. He went to Suva.
So he just left
He just left.
because he knew you'd with your friends. So your friends took you to an auntie?
Yes.
Yeah.
I asked my friend to take me to my auntie's place. When I reached my auntie's place, my auntie asked me what happened. I couldn't tell her what happened. So I told my friend what happened. So they told my aunt what happened. And my aunt sent my cousin brothers to Taltalana Sonia's house, but he's not there.
Yeah. So you're 13, this traumatic incident has happened. You continue to attend the church where he's the Talatala?
Yes.
And how did you feel going there Sunday after Sunday, knowing
No, I just skip church when
skip church?
yes,
Yeah.
when he's there for preach. I just get out. I didn't want to see his face, because I know what he did is wrong, and he didn't even tell me why he did it.
So he never came to you in the days after? No, that was just the end.
That was just the end.
Okay. And so people in your church, obviously, you know, that's 28 years ago, people have come to know about the incident. What has been the reaction from people in your church?
I just came to know when they re-elect him to be a president of Seventh-day Adventist. And one pastor told them, why you elected him, because he did something that they told him the story about what happened. Even the Taltala in my church, they didn't know. And the headquarters, they didn't know at Super Bowl. And one of the Taltala asked him, and he said yes.
Yeah.
He did a stuff back then.
Yeah.
And he said that we already talked to each other and it was solved. And one Taltala, my uncle, he's a Taltala, and he came home and asked me, did I went to Suba? And I said, no. And he said, do you went to the head office? I said, no. And I asked him, uncle, why? Why you ask me that question? And he told me about Taltal. Even my husband, he didn't know about that story. Even my grandparents didn't know about the story. I tried to forget, but I didn't know.
No, you can't forget a traumatic event. You said at one point that some pastors had come to you saying, don't report this, and their words were, think of the church.
Yes. At that same year, I was telling a story. I was telling that story to my schoolmate, a best friend of mine. I was telling him about the story that happened. And his brother overheard us and he tell his father, and they asked me to come over, and they told me they're working in they're prison officers, two church members, they're prison officers. And they told me, I've already told them the story, and they said, okay, we are sitting here as a member of the church elders, and as our work, we are in the government too. So what do you think? What you should do? They asked me that time, I was confused.
Yeah.
They're not supposed to ask me that question. They're supposed to direct me in a path that they know this is the way you should go.
Yeah.
And they told me, see, in our view, think about the church. They didn't think of me. They just think about the church.
Yeah.
But I didn't do anything about the church. It's the guy who's leading the church supposed to come out.
Exactly. Yep. So it was all covered up,
Yes.
silenced. You told me that even people in the church since have blamed you. You shouldn't have gotten in his car.
Yes.
You shouldn't have been out by yourself.
Yes.
How has that affected you?
It affected me. It hurt. It hurt. Because you're innocent. In that stage of mind, you're so innocent. And you thought that the people who are supposed to back you up pointed you again. So who am I supposed to lean on?
Yeah.
At most of the time, I think of killing myself. Because if I talk, what will happen?
Yeah. So you've wanted to kill yourself. Yeah. Because you're afraid to speak up. So why have you chosen now, 28 years later, to lodge the charges and to speak up?
Because I want to clear my name. Even this is the second time I launched my report. The first time I launched my report, that was my first lawyer. He passed away. My first lawyer, we came to the HQ, this is my second lawyer, we came to the HQ in CID in Suba. But the number was there, the file was missing. So we went back to Lamy station, we asked them, and they said, the OC is new. The OC there is new. They've changed all the rank from up, down. And I said, even my lawyer now, he said, Why did the file missing? Not supposed to be missing. If it's Rich HQ, it's supposed to be in court now.
Yeah.
And why does it came back to Lami? We ask that question. If that corruption in the church going through the government, who can we trust? Who can we lean on?
I think it's interesting to look at the timeline because the president became president in 2021. You lodged your first police report in 2020. And after you did that, the president came with a tambua.
Before he came with the tambua, he sent 3 pastors.
Okay, yeah, he sent 3 pastors beforehand. So they had obviously known, they must have known about the report because it's kind of weird that you put in the report and then they come 26 years late, 22 years later. And did you accept that tambua?
So I was there. It was my parents, the pastor that brought us to he told my parents to go to Fulton College, now in Nandi. He's a lecturer there. He told us, we go home. So my wife is cooking food. So I thought that we go just talk and mingle. And when we reach his house, he told me, he about to reach. And I said, who? And he said, Pastor Naswin. And I said, why? Why did he came here? And I told my parents, you know very well, even you didn't know the story, even you didn't know the scars that is in me. You didn't know. And you just came while they told you. Why didn't you warn me? If you told me, I should have bring my husband.
Yeah.
Oh, look for, why didn't he want to come now? Apart from all those years, I met him in town. I saw him in his car.
Yeah.
He didn't have a guts to say sorry or to just come and say mbula or have to explain himself why. Before he came to me, the pastor from TPUM, Tamavua, Pastor Fifita asked him, did you have a reconciliation? And he said, yes, already. That's before he bring the tambo. So he write in a letter that he said he already reconciled. We had already talked it over. And he came after that. He didn't think of myself. He just think of himself.
Yes. And then after that, he again in the same year, 2020, sent some men. Were these other pastors or just men in the pastors? So
3 pastors.
3 Seventh-day Adventist pastors sent to bribe you, offering you money.
Yes, they said they can pay my room, they can buy my clothes. I was in Lotok Hospital by that time. They said, we can buy your clothes. If you just say yes, we can send you now to Suva. You go and live in a hotel. You're staying in a hotel. We're going to pay your clothes. We're going to buy your clothes. Don't worry about anything. All we just need for you to say yes, so you can meet Taltal Naswin. And I said, what if it was your kid? What if that was myself? Put you in my shoes. If that happened to you. You will be staying in church? Or you?
Yeah. Has anyone from the church ever offered you counselling or support? No.
I have a few supporters, but no counseling.
Yeah.
I really need it.
Now, I just want to say that I've spoken to 2 senior pastors in the Seventh-day Adventist Church who are aware of this interview and they're very supportive of it. And they have shared that they have talked to the president, who has admitted exactly what he's done, so he's not denying it. When I asked one pastor today, why is he still in this position of power, I was told it's because he has a team of people who are protecting him. Last year, this president went to go and speak in Australia, but the Australian Seventh-day Adventist Church would not allow him to come into Australia to speak because of these allegations and this incident. So my question is, why does Fiji still allow him to speak up? A Currently, there is another court case going on against this same president. When a pastor spoke up about this incident a number of years ago, he was dismissed. So this pastor has taken the president to court for unfair dismissal. So, you know, this is well publicised, well known, and it's time that this pastor resigns. It's time that we stop protecting these people in power, because this is evil.
Yes.
The church is part of the problem here in Fiji and in other nations as well. The fact that we protect the perpetrator and not the victim is not good enough. The other thing that I was made aware of, the Seventh-day Adventist Church has a great training program, AdSafe it's called, to train all their leaders in how to look after children, keep children safe. I was told that was not allowed to be taught in the Seventh-day Adventist Church here in Fiji. So we have big problems, and so I just thank you for raising your voice. And I want to say, if there are other victims out there, whether you're from the Seventh-day Adventist Church or any other church in Fiji, it is time to break the silence. Come forward, you can speak anonymously, but we need to get rid of the cancer that is destroying the church, that is destroying your society. 28 years on, how are you doing today?
I think my husband has been very supportive. Even he didn't know what happened. And a few pastors and few rabbis, they're supporting, and my lawyer.
Yes.
They're very big support. Yeah, I think I'm getting there. Try to cope it every day.
Yeah.
We don't know what happened tomorrow. We just know now.
And we are helping you to get counselling and support. And I know one of the good pastors has offered for the church to pay for counselling. But they are ready for this to come out. They know we're doing the interview today and they want these stories to be told.
Thank you.
So if you have a story, please message me. We would love to hear your stories. Again, we will keep you anonymous, as I have with this lady, but we've got to speak up. Any last final words?
It's time for the victim to stand up. It will kill you if you didn't stand up. Because stop being the victim, let them bully you. It's time to get out to the light. Tell your story so the people will know what happened, what really happened to you. And I thank you, Miss Sheldon, for this platform that you built for us to become a voice of the unvoiced. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for your courage. I pray that we will be praying and protecting you. I know there will be cowards and bullies that come after you, but we have good people around you, good support. It's time that we support the victims and come alongside the vulnerable. These are the ones that Jesus saved his harshest words for the religious bullies, and he came alongside the victims. So thank you for your courage. May God bless you, and we will continue to journey with you.
Thank you, Miss Sheldon.